download it today. All right, so there was a lot there.
Yeah.
What stood out to you guys?
I have a question. He mentioned you filling the gaps with the different radars.
Yes.
Because right now you'll have a site and you can't see maybe a tornado because it's in between the radar sites. He said to privatize that or maybe go to a private company to purchase in those gaps. How soon would that go into effect?
There's already companies doing that.
Correct.
Okay, but is it integrated?
Okay.
When you guys were talking about different people putting out different advisories and warnings and whatnot,
Right.
I mean, that's a problem. But the problem is how do you stop people from doing that? Right?
I don't think you can.
Or going on social media and putting out a 240-hour thing saying, oh, it's going to snow.
Neil and I are in full agreement. There needs to be one main extent. We still do that.
Yeah.
Right? So
we only use weather service. We do not put out
exactly
our own.
right. This is not our stuff. It's the weather service. So that one voice that we pay very cheap amount for is still the data we put out.
There's still more to come.
Very good.
We got
there is.
part 4.
All right, you want some wind reports?
We got it for you.
I'll count them for you. Hold on a second. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there's a number here.
That's like how many jelly beans are in the jar situation.
Pretty much. Good luck with that, right? This is America's Morning Headquarters. I'm meteorologist Jim Cantori, alongside meteorologist Stephanie Abrams and Jordan Steele, who's still counting jelly bean wind dots.
Which were, by the way, damaging, knocking out power to hundreds of thousands, bringing down trees that have killed one person and injured 2 others in Idaho. And now these destructive winds are moving east. We've already seen them today.
Oh my God.
Over 80, 90, and 100 miles an hour as you go up in elevation. But Rapid City up to 85 miles
For almost 2 hours.
Consistently.
For almost 2 hours.
And it was over 91 actually in Rapid City. Remember
downtown.
Downtown versus the airport was different.
So that wind energy obviously is going to be heading east, and that's going to be bringing maybe 50, 60 plus mile an hour wind gusts to the northeast, which has got us thinking, like, what does air travel look like tomorrow morning when all that hits I-95?
It's going to be rough. It is going to be rough. Plus, this system is coming rain and snow. I don't think it's going to be a lot for the eastern half of the country, but look at the Pacific Northwest because we are going to continue to get nonstop. Yep, Jordan's pointing to it.
AR Central.
And it's going to go through the weekend into the beginning of next week.
Right.
Powerful winds as well are going to continue.
At least California's getting a little bit of the action because, I mean, obviously we've been
it's nice to see it sink south a little bit.
Cascades getting up to the Sierra.
Huge here, guys. And all new this morning, I actually got a chance to sit down with the head of NOAA, Neil Jacobs, for an exclusive interview, his first as the head of the department here. It is only right here on the Weather Channel, and he does release some really interesting information, so you'll want to stick around.
It's been great watching some of that this morning, so we'll have more for you in just a bit. In the meantime, check out this video of these big winds down in...
It's already taken out power here in the west, and it's going to get worse with the power outages as this whole system moves east. Colorado, we are going up. We're going the wrong direction here. 120,000 without power. Very strong winds, maybe even hard for you to sleep last night with some of those winds coming through. Notice South Dakota, the southwest part of the state, our power outages have been ticking up, and guess what's in the southwest part of the state? There's your downtown Rapid City at 91 miles an hour that we were mentioning. Mission at 80, Witten at 75, even Grand Forks at 64. It has been gnarly out there, thanks in part to our low pressure, where we've seen it drop down to 982 millibars. The lower the number, the stronger the low pressure. And then off to the west, we have high pressure. This was like a 1026. Higher the number, the stronger the high pressure. And the closer they are together, the stronger the winds. It's like putting your thumb on the end of a hose. The water squirts out faster from the hose. The water is racing in between these two areas. It's called a pressure gradient. The closer those white lines, those are lines of constant pressure, the closer they are together, the stronger the winds. Just give you a quick example. See how tight they are here versus not as tight down here. So your winds are not going to be as strong. Let's zoom into the picture because this wind is blowing snow around. Notice Starkweather, North Dakota in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. We've had near whiteout conditions throughout the morning. And this whole entire system is going to be moving east, bringing this wind into the Midwest and eventually the Northeast. There's a north wind in between these two systems that's also bringing in the colder air. So places like Minneapolis, our temperatures are going to be dropping as we go through the day. This upper level energy is also helping us get a little snow. And that's what we are seeing here throughout parts of the plains. And that is wind driven. Rapid City now it's 70 miles an hour, gusting to 70. North Platte gusting to 70. Minneapolis gusting to 21. Just wait as this moves into the Chicagoland area. We're already gusting to 35. I think we're going to have major major airport issues for us as we go through the day. So that upper level low helping us with that snow that's coming on in. And we do have our boundary here. That is our front, warm ahead of it. And boy, is it warm. We're going to talk about those temperatures in just a minute. But watch as this whole system moves east. There's your low. Here's your high. The high is bringing in that cold, dry air. Everything is going to be moving off to the east here. And so we get winds all day long. They're going to be gaining strength as we go through the Great Lakes throughout the day. Then our next system comes in again, still getting a pressure gradient from this high that's in the middle of the country. That's giving us some of these stronger winds here. So it works in both directions for us. The snow and the rain, it's not going to be super heavy. We do have all sorts of advisories here. Can you guys back that up a little bit? Talk about the winter weather advisories that we have in effect this evening until 6 p.m. for the cities of Morris, Long Prairie, Alexandria, Glenwood, St. Cloud. Winds 40, 50 miles an hour, low visibility, falling snow, and flash freeze conditions possible on some of those icy roads. So watch out for that. In the high wind warning, though, this is where we're going 60, 70, 80 mile an hour winds or more, like we saw in Rapid City, 90 mile an hour winds, thanks to this just non-stop air that's going to be blowing around. Also, your Christmas decorations, you got to watch out for that. That's going to make its way into the Northeast. Then our next one is going to come into play here as we head into our Friday. So air travel is going to be very messy. I think it's going to get worse as the day progresses because the winds are going to be going into some of those bigger cities like Detroit, Cleveland, St. Louis, Chicago, Minneapolis, where you have a lot of planes. And by the way, if you're in the South and unaffected by all this wind, if your plane is originating from Chicago, maybe hopping down to Atlanta and then going from there, you could get delayed, Jim. It's that domino effect that we have when it comes to air travel. So you're not like, oh, I'm not in the Midwest, I'm fine. What if your crew is on a plane in the Midwest coming,
That's true. Sometimes crews arrive at different airports, too. So Chicago, one of those bigger airports that intends to impact everybody. All right, what's moving? Let's talk about the South.
Yeah, let's go in the South here because there is a southern part of this that actually is much needed. Here's a look at where we could use the rain. Look at Wilmington, North Carolina. Down 13 inches. Tallahassee is also a big one, down around a foot. Nashville, Orlando, we're doing pretty good on our rainfall. The good thing is we are going to get some of that rain here into Tallahassee, so that's going to help. Listen, also into Wilmington, we're getting some of the heavier rain where we need it, but it is certainly not going to get rid of the drought. Look at that moisture coming in from the Atlantic, from the Gulf. Here is the surface front back here. We have the upper level energy as well, and everything is basically going to be like a zipper, like zip. It's all going to zip right up together and meet in the middle. Showers and a few thunderstorms coming on shore here around Mobile Bay and heavier rain around the Big Bend there of Florida. This is all going to continue through the day. You'll see that southerly flow. We got a low level jet also that's going to help bring up some of this moisture. There's our boundary. So as you can see, everything's kind of zipping up together. But I wouldn't sleep on some of these storms. We really only have a marginal risk for severe weather, but you could still get a thunderstorm out of these and a severe one here or there. So watch for some boomers, some heavier downpours. The good thing is everything's moving. Nashville, we get hit hard as we head around that dinner time. So you might get some flickers of lights in the kitchen when you're doing some cooking. Be careful with that. Shower time. Stay out of the shower when there are thunderstorms rumbling through, because if lightning hits all the plumbing, it can come in to the house. So do keep that in mind. Thankfully, we will be clearing out overnight. You don't have to worry about those big, severe thunderstorms, and Friday's looking much nicer. We obviously need the rain in states like Alabama, Florida, and Georgia, and that's where we will get some of those heavier downpours, but this is not going to wipe out our drought conditions whatsoever. Nash Vegas, we are going to get several rounds of rain coming through, so we're not one and done here. You're going to get showers this morning. You're going to get showers this afternoon. You're going to get a little break, and then the big line is going to come through around that dinner and bedtime hour. That's going to wash out, and then as you are sleeping, you can sleep soundly. You don't have to worry about any storms. Unless you like the rain and thunder when you're sleeping, but sometimes that can make people nervous. Birmingham, we're also the same. You're going to get several rounds of showers and thunderstorms coming through, riding up 20, riding along 65, 59. There's our bigger line coming through as we head 7, 8 o'clock at night. while you're sleeping, no worries whatsoever. How about Tallahassee? That I-10 drive, not a whole lot to look at if you're going east or west there, in and out of Tallahassee. We will get several rounds. We got to wait for that boundary to come through. There's the final boundary that's going to make its way through as we head early on Friday morning, but there's not much left of it. Here into the Carolinas, we are going to get not only the rain, but even once this rain moves out into our Friday, there's still a little pressure gradient with a high in the south and a low in the north. And that means, Jordan, that though the weather is going to clear, still going to be breezy for us on our Friday.
Oh, for sure. The wind energy is going to be felt for so many of us. In
Santa, as you guys have been traveling this time of year, someone might be festive, if not Santa, just in the ugly Christmas sweater or some festive earrings or hat. It's kind of a fun time of year for everyone to really get into it. No problems at the airport right now, but as we head later in the day with those winds picking up, we are going to probably experience some delays. I don't think it's necessarily because of the precipitation, but because of those stronger winds coming into places like Minneapolis, Chicago. We've already been gusting over 35 miles an hour at Chicago, and things are going to continue to get windier as we head throughout the day. And the wind also translates to turbulence in the atmosphere. So watch out for some of those bumps. We haven't had any turbulence reports yet this morning, but notice as we go through the day, this is our jet stream. 30,000 feet, we have a big dip here, and if you're crossing over that jet stream, you are definitely going to run into some of those bumps. Most planes fly around 30,000 feet, which is where the jet stream is. So if you're coming from the west, you're going to be flying. You might make up some good time because you can actually get a little boost from that jet stream if you're going from west to east. This might slow you down. You might not get much of a boost here in the Midwest as those winds continue to pick up. That causes all sorts of problems for planes when it comes to landing, when it comes to takeoff. Is it a crosswind? Is the wind shifting? Do they have to shift the runway? There's all sorts of issues that they have to contend with. Again, the rain and snow is going to pretty much be light, which will be problematic for those of you on the roads, because when you have light rain, light snow, that's when you have the most accidents. Jim, today the Northeast is okay, but I do fear for Friday.
Oh, gosh.
Like
right out of the gate, Abrams.
Yeah,
like
literally in the morning.
Lit 101 nearby.
Higher
right?
elevation.
Higher elevations. And then the 92 would be what, an all-time?
Okay, yes, all-time record. But listen, it broke the old record of 89 set in July of 2002. That was the old record. And then, of course, there's those few unofficial ones of 100. But, yeah, this
so
is
here's the
all-time.
deal. Don't post on X. Why are you guys saying all time? We weren't around 200 years ago.
Well, it goes back to
obviously,
1960.
The
The data
data
goes
that
to
we have
1960.
and anemometers that we have, the data that we have, this breaks it.
Yes.
All right.
Going back to 1960.
I still think I have to do my segment first, right? Or no? Am I tossing it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
No,
it is to you. I'm just seeing this. Yeah, it is yours. Because I'm like, I'm not doing these maps here. I'm doing them somewhere else.
I mean, you wanted this segment? You can do this segment if you'd like.
Mine is a terrible thing to waste. By all means, jump in.
All right, so let's talk about all the winds and why we're seeing these winds. Not only do we have a strong and what we call deep low pressure, there is a strong high pressure in the proximity. That gives you a pressure gradient between the two, and that means the winds accelerate between the two. And by the way, it's a north wind in between these bringing down cold air. So places like Minneapolis, your temperature is going to be dropping.